What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast. Episode something, 60 something. My name is Omar. Next to me is Earl. Below me is Max. Today we are going to go over a lot of stuff, Max, if you want to pick that up.
Wait.
What happened?
Happy New Year's 2025. First
Happy New Year. You're right. Oh my God.
All right.
Oh my God. It's New Year's today. We are recording on January 1st. Yep. So if you guys are watching this later,
y'all know what's funnier than 24.
2025.
But what's even funnier than 2025 is our preseason standing predictions that we made a couple months ago. Keep in mind, this was a collaborative list. We ranked all the teams in the conferences, and seeing as how it's the start of New Year's, we're going to see. I know it's not quite midseason yet, but it's pretty close. We're going to see how the real standings compare to what we had. So if you guys enjoy this recap, again, let us know in the comments. We'll be sure. Obviously, we'll be recapping this as well at the end of the season, but wanted to give kind of a midway standing update. This will not be what we do the whole podcast, but this is how we're going to lead off. Would you two like to start with the West or the East first?
Let's do the East. I feel like East is
first. All right. East from ascending order. So at the bottom of the list, which was maybe our worst, well, probably not the worst poll that we had, but definitely not our best. The Brooklyn Nets, we had them at 15th and dead last in the Eastern Conference. Currently, they are 12th and not even close to last place.
I mean,
it's
not a horrible guess.
Not crazy.
I mean, again, there's still a lot of basketball to be played, and they have more than
double the wins of last place right now.
The wins.
I think they have been surprising. I think it is fair to say that they have been.
Damn, the Wizards only
not as much recently after they traded away Schroeder and DFS, but at the start of the year, they were like in the play-in hunt for a little bit there.
True. Yeah, but they have time to fall.
Yeah, I think they will fall. Probably 14th. I don't know if Washington's going to start clicking.
Hornets have a lot of injuries so far this season, which sucks. I don't know what the Raptors are. Oh, they did have Scotty Barnes and Quickly out for a lot of time too.
I think Quickly is still out currently,
and Grady,
and I think Scotty
is out.
Came back.
Yeah, Scotty just came.
But I do have to revisit. I have to while we're just talking about the Raptors, I do have to revisit a take I had. Me and Earl, we had this. After seeing some more games from him, I don't know if Scotty Barnes is an A1 player. But that's
like I said,
I haven't seen enough games from him, bro. He's been injured. I'm not gonna count
that's true, but again, I just the way he plays. I don't know.
I'm away. I don't think anybody
on that train
actually watched. I'll double down and say this. I don't think anybody on this podcast has watched a single full Raptors game from start to end this season, unless it was versus your team.
Never mind.
So let's watch some ball. Let's watch some gameplay, and then come to not box score watching. Watch the games.
Fine.
So we'll ball.
I mean, shoot, how far off the A1 box score you got to be? But that's a tangent for another day.
Stat nerds.
Nets, like I said, we have the Nets at 15. Currently, they're 12. Good job, Brooklyn. Keep overachieving. And getting yourself a worse pick. But
what's next?
Next up on our list, we had the Wizards, who are currently 15. So we were pretty right about the Wizards again. The Nets could lose every single game for the rest of the season, and the Wizards still might not pass them. The Nets have 12 wins right now. I don't know if the Wizards are getting 12 wins, period. So I think it's safe to say Washington will be last. Who knows? Maybe they'll pass Charlotte or Toronto, but I don't see that order inverting. We were pretty close on Washington, though. I'll say we were. That's a solid thought we had. Hornets 13th. They are currently 13th. So our first good one. I don't know who pushed for the Hornets third from the bottom, but good job whoever you were. It's probably me. Next is the on our team we have the Pistons.
You know that wasn't me that said that.
It wasn't because I did right here. Omar predicts 9th. And currently the Pistons are 10. So Omar's prediction is actually closer than our group prediction. Our official prediction is 12, but I made sure to write down Omar 9th because he was very adamant that they would be in the play-in. And currently they are. They're hanging in.
And not to even say like they've been playing some real good basketball. I mean, compared to last year, obviously, I feel like some of those dudes really needed to take that jump. Jalen Duren has regressed a little bit, which kind of makes me upset. But I feel like he's gonna
like an all-star.
I really
was gassing him. Next, Andre Drummond.
That's what I said. The next
he's got time. Listen,
look. There's still time to do it. I'm not going to say that thing was completely false. But I will say the Pistons have been playing better. They have been playing stronger. They have been playing with more confidence. So I feel like that's the reason why they're so high on this, so high in the Eastern Conference so far.
Pistons I was definitely sleeping on them a little bit. They're better than I thought. I think having Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., having like actual decent NBA veterans on their team gets them a few more wins than at least I would have thought. Still plenty of time for them to fall back down. I mean, they have 14 wins, and you got Philly, who's behind, and Philly will probably jump them at some point. And then they kind of fall into that territory with the Nets. So still potential for them to fall to where we had them at 12, but still, maybe if they start hooping, maybe they could get up tonight like Omar predicted. Our number 11 is the Chicago Bulls. Their Bulls are actually overperforming from our expectations right now. 3 games beyond ninth place in the East. Very much in the play-in hunt. I don't know if that's really where that front office wants the team to be, if they're okay with just being mid. The Bulls are always kind of right in that area, 9th, 10th, bottom play-in, mid, but they're back again. Levine's doing his thing, up in his trade value, which is good for them. Kobe White, Vooch, kind of the same team we've gotten used to over there. Nothing much to write home about with the Bulls.
Nothing much going on over there in Chicagoland. All I'll say is, though, the Pistons are only one game. The Pistons are only one game behind them, so they could really be in 9th right now.
True.
Yeah, I think Chicago. Gosh, I have to think they make a trade soon, but you never know. Our number 10 was the Atlanta Hawks. In real life, the Hawks. This is another one we missed. The Hawks are 3 games above 500, currently top 6 in the Eastern Conference.
Are they really? I'm so surprised. I'm not.
I am.
They torched me. They wouldn't let me put them higher. They wouldn't let me put them higher, Chad. Go watch the episode.
Because
I fought for them.
I'm waiting for them to fall back down to earth.
Dyson Daniels. Dyson
I didn't see Dyson Daniels. If I know Dyson Daniels
in the NBA.
I don't think anybody anticipated Dyson Daniels being one of the better defenders in the NBA, so I really can't say anything on that end.
Honestly, I said it before, like, it's really Jalen Johnson, if we're being honest. Jalen Johnson has a really good year 2 jump, but he's playing 1B to Trae Young. And Hunter, bro. DeAndre Hunter. Oh, yeah, 3. My fault. 3. My bad. But DeAndre Hunter, bro, kudos to him. He's off the bench averaging 20-plus a game, shooting 40, I think 43, or I think it's like 43% from 3. Like 20-plus off the bench.
6th man of the year candidate for sure.
100%. So,
shout to the Hawks. Improved. I could see him getting,
maybe both, bro.
Most improved as a bench player, but you never know.
Maybe both. I don't know.
Wemby might have most improved locked up already, but
Wemby, we know what Wemby's doing. I hate when they give most improved to guys like Wemby. And remember when John won it or something like that? That was so dumb. Like most improved John Moran, we knew he was gonna. I'm like, it's not like everybody has a little jump,
Yeah. I think, like you said, it's not even. I mean, it is Trae Young, but it's always been. Trae Young's doing what we expect him to do. Clint Capella's doing what we expect him to do.
Frankly, I think most improved goes to Tyler Hero this year.
He's also in the running for sure.
He's balling. Believe it or not, and if you like it or not, he's balling.
I think the difference for the Hawks are
as a starter.
Those more fringe guys, like you said, Earl. It's the Dyson Daniels bringing that defense and DeAndre Hunter bringing that increased offense. I think those two is really what accounts for them being plus 3 instead of like a -2 or -3. I still think they could fall back down to earth. Maybe they're soaring up here. Maybe they're going to soar down there a little bit by the end. But right now,
that's certainly looks like
Max, too? One of our most worst predictions. Yeah.
The cool thing about Trae Young, like I was like, oh dang, like his scoring numbers went down a little bit this year, but I feel like that's just the overall production of everybody around him being better scorers. But the important stat is Trae Young went from 10.8 assists a game to 12.1 this year. So
there you go. He's setting his guys up.
And he's had multiple 20-plus assist games this season, which is crazy. Yeah. So shout out to Trae Young.
I was almost ready to still put Tyrese Halliburton as one of the best passers in this league, but he's been so mid. I can't even get
Tyrese is like, you know how you write the same sentence and then one guy writes it in cursive and like, oh, it looks so good, but the sentence says the same thing.
Yeah, that's actually exactly how I would put it.
Like,
I don't think I would put it any other way.
Like, oh, it looks cool, but I mean, bro, look, I wrote the same thing here and I wrote it 2 days ago. Like, come on, bro. Anyways, sorry.
We'll get to the Pacers in a minute here. Unfortunately for us, our next team on our list at number 9 was the Toronto Raptors.
Oh, wow.
14th in the East with 7 wins.
Okay. Injuries.
Yeah.
Injuries. It was fair. Injuries suck. But you're right. That was a reach. I will give it to you.
reach to begin with, I'll say.
I think even without the injuries, this team probably doesn't have more than 10 or 11 wins.
I said they'd be sitting at like 11.
No injuries. I mean, listen, I know Grady Dick didn't play yesterday. Obviously, Emmanuel Quickly's been out for a lot of the season. Scotty Barnes has missed time. I don't think RJ Barrett played yesterday when they lost by like 80 to the Celtics. There's just not a lot of talent there outside of kind of your through. They have Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Grady Dick. That's kind of it. They have Pirtle. Pirtle's solid. Really, just not
realistically. Only team I can see them replacing right now if they were healthy, probably the Nets, and that's 12 wins. So that's still 12th. So yeah, I agree.
RJ Barrett has had a solid season. Scotty Barnes has been solid, but I think I relied on them and quickly carrying this team more than they are just capable of right now.
RJ might be MIP too. He's balling as well. So
honestly, he has been having a good season. I agree.
Been playing really well.
Yeah.
Who's next on our list, really, Max?
Yeah,
they could have one of the worst 5 through 10s in basketball. The Raptors.
True.
Their drop off is once you start getting to Kelly Olynyk, Bruce Brown, who barely plays now. I'll say this. I'll say the Raptors are gonna end up higher in the Eastern Conference by the end of the year.
I feel
probably not where we put them though.
No,
definitely not where we got.
Definitely not. No, but I think Brooklyn gets down there. I think the Hornets play a little better. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it shakes out, but
yeah. We'll see. Next up on our list is number 8, the Miami Heat, and that's almost bang on right now. They are 7th place, 2 games above 8th. So pretty accurate. What we
Tyler Hero's been carrying. That's why.
Yep, Tyler Hero. Jimmy's been efficient. That's the thing.
Tyler Hero's on a revenge tour from all that BS Milwaukee Bucks talk or the BS Portland talk. So it's good to see.
We'll see what happens in the playoffs.
Listen, you just need to see where Jimmy's at because Jimmy still may or may not be traded, whether on who you believe on the matter.
There's a lot of drama around them right now for the obvious reasons, but they are still a decent team. I think they're doing what we expected them to do, for more or less.
Yeah.
So we had them at 8. They are 7 currently. Who we had at 7 in our predictions was the Orlando Magic. Who have to be one of the biggest surprises of the league.
Who voted on that, though, bro?
They are 4th in the East at 6 games over 500 without Paolo for basically the whole season, without Franz for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna fall a little bit. I think Milwaukee eventually. Listen to why. Because not only is Paolo out, but Franz just got out a couple of weeks ago.
But they've been out.
Not that very long, dude. It's for Franz. Franz has been carrying that squad for a little bit, and it's they're on a downward.
Franz has been out for at least 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying.
But they're still winning.
That's what I'm saying. So you figure if Franz carried that team to some wins, Paolo should be able to as well. Obviously, you want them both there ideally, but with Paolo coming back, the fact that this team is still 6 games over 500, I think shows that they don't.
And then they lose Suggs for a game, and then Cole Anthony closed 2 games. He got 2-game winners.
I'll say that. Yeah,
mystery to me in this league. They don't play him. What happened to him?
Orlando lost by 1 yesterday. By 1 to the Brooklyn Nets. They lost by 20 plus to the New York Knicks. They lost to the Miami Heat by 1. They lost to the Celtics by 4.
Yeah, they play.
They were on a little losing streak before they got this win.
You're proving on point, though. You're proving on point. You add Paolo into there, he'll get 4 points. He'll get
100%. 100%. But when are they going to be back? Is the question. That's what I'm saying.
Back soon.
Let me finish my thought, though, because I'm trying to say that the Orlando Magic, they're going to fall down a little bit, because the Milwaukee Bucks are right there around the corner, 3 games behind them. Milwaukee's on a hot streak. They're going to continue it. And on top of that, the Magic are on a downward slope. That's what I said, because they are. They won 1 game by 1 point, and they lost the last 3. So,
but I think as soon as they get Paolo back, they go back on that upward trajectory.
100%. But when is Paolo coming back? When are they coming back?
3 games is still a good amount of cushion. I can see them not even losing that cushion by the time Paolo comes back.
But when? When are they coming back, Max? When are they coming back, Earl? I don't know.
Of course
they'll be better with Paolo.
Franz is out, but Paolo's coming back soon. And if France can get that team to 6 games over 500, Paolo can definitely keep them.
Again, that's not what I'm arguing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's not what I'm arguing. Back soon. What's the injury report say, Earl?
I'm reading it right now.
Because I know they said he was targeting around like Christmas and the New Year's area. So as long as there hasn't been any like regressions in his,
I think there was a slight regression. I think I remember.
No regressions.
No,
there's no regressions. He is already in the returning process, so he's already in conditioning process. So he should be back.
Good.
I say in the next, probably by the time we do our next podcast,
week and a half, maybe max.
Just be coming back. So if they could just win like one of their next 2 or 3 games, then get Paolo back. I don't.
Mosley said he's progressing fast too. So
yeah. And listen, I gotta give a huge shout out to Jamal Mosley because he has this Magic team again, even without Franz and Paolo, playing some great defense. That Magic team is one of the scrappiest, hard-nosed defensive teams in all of basketball right now. And they don't. Even
I hate how he lost that identity
outside of Suggs. Obviously, Suggs is phenomenal, but he's got guys like KCP.
I like Magic, man.
You know, Tristan De Silva. He's got these guys playing legit team defense, which is hard to do when you have an anchor in Suggs, which obviously enables he enables a lot of other players, but Coach Mosley has these guys playing really hard. And I think when you get the scoring back in Paolo and Franz, you're going to see them win a lot more games. So our prediction of Magic at 7, there's a good chance they end top 4. They really could end the season top 4.
Yeah, I think they end. I think they end top 5. I think I still think Milwaukee can take their spot because I do think Milwaukee's the better team overall. But I'm not saying that the Orlando Magic are bad. I'm not, because I think the Orlando Magic.
I hear you. Like you said, it depends on the injuries.
It depends on the injuries. If Paolo isn't back,
and Franz comes back in a couple weeks later.
Even if even
if they do go down 1, it's just gonna go right back up.
I don't know about that.
I do.
I don't know about that one, bro.
I do.
Think about
nothing to know, bro.
Giannis.
Do you realize the Magic? Do you realize the Magic, bro? Where even with Giannis, Dame, all those guys playing, the Magic were one of the best with Cleveland teams in the NBA when Paolo was playing healthy. Paolo was putting up numbers. Nobody in the NBA was stopping Paolo Banchero. That's a fact.
I'm sure that's true.
Franz Wagner. The reason, you know why the Magic have lost games? It's because Franz went out. If you add Franz to those games, they're probably 3 right now, for being honest.
I'm just saying, again, that's fine. That's all well and good. But my prediction was based on the fact that they're not back yet, which is also like they could fall.
But when you made that prediction,
I still think they can fall 1 spot.
But I'm saying, you're saying that, but that doesn't. When we made the predictions weren't with the Magic not being healthy. That was with the Magic fully healthy. So they've already gone over expectations.
I think we all underestimated Orlando.
We did
all underestimate Orlando. I still think they'll fall.
Another team that we underestimated, and this is probably our worst pick of the whole thing. I didn't really look too close.
It's got to be Cleveland, right?
How it's going to be much worse than this.
It's going to be Pacers. It's going to be Pacers.
I knew it was Cleveland. Because Omar hates Cleveland.
We put the 29-4 Cavs, the best team in the NBA record-wise right now, at 6th in the East.
Yeah, them and the Knicks are sharing an 8-game winning streak right now.
Don't say Knicks and Cleveland in the same sentence.
Knicks and Cleveland.
Shout out to Cavs. You know what?
Shout out to Cavs. The
Cavs. Every team has their
best basketball.
I didn't think that JB Bickerstaff did a bad job. I was a little surprised that they fired him.
Hey,
I guess this is.
It looks like he was the worst coach ever.
That we did not, because he has those guys playing like the prime Warriors.
Bro.
They are.
Well, don't forget they wanted him. They wanted him first. They wanted him before.
They clearly
wanted him first.
Like basically the same roster. They made like 0 roster changes. I know, obviously, there's been progression. Mobley's progressed. Garland has returned to his kind of all-star form.
Well,
Mobley supposed to be the coach.
Mobley took a giant step that nobody was expecting just yet. That's why. And nobody was prepared for the step that he was going to take. Nobody was prepared for the step defensively that Jared Allen was going to make. And I don't think
that is Jared Allen, bro.
Defensively, he took a slight step.
He didn't. Jared Allen has always been that, bro.
I think he gets.
I'm sure he gets
the best out of these players.
Yeah,
that I guess JB Bickerstaff just was not getting. Like, putting
I'll say this, like,
as a ball handler more helps a lot. Helps his
Cleveland just looks like a really good team. Like, we played them last night, and it's not even the thing I like about Cleveland too is they make the most of their opportunities. Like, if you get a turnover, if you miss a shot, they will make you pay. Like 1 through 8, they're hitting shots. It's kind of Donovan Mitchell is really impressive too. Like he has this ability to kind of like just silence a crowd. Like he'll go shot for shot. He'll hit 3 difficult contested threes in a row, and then he'll look at you and just do a little shrug shoulder animation or something like that. Like he just knows how to deflate a defense, man. You can play the best defense, he'll score you.
He's still a little streaky. I think that's all. If there is one knock on his game, he does kind of go through like cold spells in a game where it's like he's not really shooting the ball much. But when you have Darius Garland, who stepped up in a big way offensively this year, and you have Evan Mobley to kind of fill in those gaps, you're okay with Donovan Mitchell not taking 5 shots a quarter. You're okay with him just kind of letting the game come to him, and then he can get hot in the 3rd or 4th quarter, and like Earl said, close a game, silence the crowd when they need him to. Like he doesn't have to go get 40 anymore for the Cavs to win consistently, which is probably the best sign for them. I think
you guys were right.
If they drop down to 6th, our prediction will be way off.
Nah, they're gonna finish first, bro, or second. I mean, obviously Boston can make a run. I mean, it's Boston, but it's just like I don't know, man. They're 5 games up on Boston, and isn't that not crazy to say?
That is crazy to say. They're the best team in the NBA. Better than the Thunder, better than the Nuggets, better than the Celtics, better than everyone right now.
Like they're so good.
A team who is not better than everyone else right now is the Indiana Pacers, who we have
they
5.
Suck.
They're currently 8.
They suck.
They're not terrible. They're 2 games below 500.
I don't care.
They're just kind of in that Miami Heat mid.
Tyrese Halliburton
Miami
sucks.
Heat, Chicago Bulls mid.
I'm not gonna say anything bad about Pascal Siakam. I love his game, but Tyrese Halliburton sucks. That's all.
I don't think he sucks. He's just not having the best year. He doesn't suck.
He sucks. He's overrated. He never deserved to be a starter on any type of caliber team.
You're still holding.
Let me take that back. Indiana Pacers, fine.
Never is crazy.
Never was a little crazy. Let me take that back. Let me take a step back. In the sense of a Team USA and the All-Star game, he should have never been a starter.
Did he
but if we judge
Team USA before
All-Star
in the year where he played back, FIBA.
But All-Star is different though. Like All-Star is like that year. We've seen All-Stars hit it once and never be brought back again. Like that's just a fact. It just depends on what type of year it is. I'm not saying that'd be the same for Tyrese, but it's just
is there a world where last year was the best season of Tyrese Halliburton's career and he never hits that peak again?
Yes.
There's also a world where this could be his worst year of his career and he jumps up and has crazy numbers again.
So all right, y'all are gonna call me crazy about this. So a few like this was in the beginning of last season. I was in my house and I had my friends over. And I had another Knicks fan come over. We had the conversation. We remembered the 2012 season like it was yesterday. We remember the fact that we went to the second round and we lost to the Paul George and the Pacers. There was one thing about that year that was really similar to last year. First of all, do you guys want to guess what it is? Max, I think you know what it is. You just have to search in your brain really hard for it. Somebody that played for us was traded over there during that time. Somebody that played for us was traded there during that time.
What are you talking about? I lost the plot. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I don't think you remember. Do you remember who Chris Copeland is?
Yes, but what does that have to do with anything? He was also
traded to the Indiana Pacers in that year, in the beginning of that year, and then when we went back,
it was the next year.
No, it wasn't, because he was on that squad shooting threes on our heads. No,
not that year.
I promise you, it was.
No, he was on. Okay,
dude, I promise you, the reason why I remember was because he was shooting threes on our head in the playoffs. I remember this very distinctively. Very, very distinctively, Max. But
welcome to the part of the show where Max Googles and fact checks Omar to see if.
I mean, look, if you can fact check me, fine, and I'll concede immediately. But
so I mean, if it is false,
I distinctively remember.
Was just
I distinctly remember.
Season.
Dude, he was traded
to
the playoffs. Can we get to the end? Can we get
2012-2013 season with the Knicks?
Can you get to the
Dude, he was traded to the Pacers. I distinctly remember he was traded to the Pacers, and then the Pacers beat us in that semifinal year. And it was kind of like exactly what happened this year. And
I'll share screen here, but you're wrong. Oh, you disable screen sharing. I hate to break it to you, dog.
How do I enable it?
I'm sure he may play well against us in regular season games, but
Can you share now?
Omar, what does that say?
Earl, I'm about to
probably.
There you go. Stopped your video.
I mean, right here.
Wow. And I can't turn it back on? That's crazy.
No way you can't turn it back on.
Omar. Now I'm going no video for the rest of the thing.
There's no way you can't turn it back
on.
I can't.
You can see my screen though, right?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Did you fix it?
2012. Next.
Dude, okay, then he beat us in 2013. My bad, I got the year wrong. Then he beat us in 2013. In that playoffs in 2013. Then that's my fault. I got the year wrong.
In the regular season, in the playoffs.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the playoffs. I'm almost 100% sure it was the playoffs. Wait, hold on.
4-28, finished first. Playoffs, lost to the Pacers.
No, can you fix my camera too, by the way?
Can we get back to the point here?
Wait, do you actually... Wait, Earl, wait. I'm going to take a pause here.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
All right, after investigation,
Chris Copeland
Omar
was on that squad, so I was
wrong.
right. I just got the year wrong.
Omar was 100% wrong. And
I was not 100% wrong.
We fact-checked him. That was your
point. It didn't happen.
Dude, in 2013, the Knicks played the Pacers in the semifinals.
But 2012,
as much as we would like to continue talking about mid, let's continue with our ranking. So who's next, Max? Or is that
the
it?
Next team on our rankings, right? At least, is the Milwaukee Bucks at number 4, which is pretty accurate. They're at 5 right now. We just talked about them being behind the Orlando Magic. So good chance they could jump up to 4 by the end of the season again. Kind of depends on the Magic injuries. That's TBD. But the Bucks are contenders. You know, they're still a positive team. They're still a playoff team. They shouldn't be in the play-in like we predicted. Probably not a top 1 or 2. Probably not top 3 seed, but 4 or 5. I'd say that's kind of the range for them. Number 3, we have the Knicks, which is bang on if I'm correct. Yep, 23-10. The Knicks also on an 8-game winning streak like Cleveland right now. 13 games over 500. I think so far the Knicks are performing.
I think we can pass up
the. All had the Knicks at number 3. So
I think we could pass up
a unanimous call.
I think
we steady.
Boston.
Yeah, I think
you said what should
be our goal.
Now that I'm looking at this, I'm starting to realize that the Cavs may not have been our worst prediction.
Oh yeah, those were.
Because we've still not said the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh god.
Okay, hold on. I gotta say about that.
Injuries messed us up, bro. Yes. From the start of the season, injuries absolutely killed that tape.
They finally but they finally got everybody back, and they have.
And they still don't play together.
They have been better. They've been better.
They've been
only 13 wins, which is less than Detroit.
And they lost the Rookie of the Year. Oh,
Jared McCain. Jared.
When he got injured, I don't know. I didn't even know he was playing. Like the aura was just so real. Like I just fell to my knees. It's like, what's happening? And I check my phone and I see my glorious Jared McCain was out.
This is some crazy type of glazing.
I'm just saying, bro. Really? Jared McCain.
I know you're a Duke fan, so I'm gonna let it slide. But
basketball, he changed Sixers basketball on a team with Joel.
All right, slow down, slow down.
Paul George, he was the star. He was the anchor of that team.
There were a good couple games.
Slow down a little bit.
He was averaging in the month of November, December, 20 plus points a game, shooting 38% from 3. And someone had to take him out. Adam Silver said, you know what? Nah, we can't have him playing like this. He's above the timeline of the script.
Wasn't it twice that he fell on the floor and like banged his head twice?
Yes, and they were pushing him to the floor. Boom, sit down, rookie. And he was getting concussed. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if Jared McCain had stayed healthy and everyone on the Sixers stayed healthy, they'd probably be our number 2. So it's not our worst prediction in terms of we had good reason to predict the 76ers to be high in the standings. But I think it is our farthest from reality because they'll be top 11 and we had them second. That is a 9-place difference.
Easily.
9 spots in one.
Omar, if they were fully healthy with Jared McCain playing this, they would be top 3.
Okay, no, 100%. That's not what I'm saying, Earl. I'm saying now.
That's what we were saying.
I'm saying right now, my current prediction for them will be they're going to be top 5, top 6.
Oh no, I was just talking about
based on how they're playing right now, and I feel like
they have been better. They're playing better basketball. They have their pieces. Joel's playing enough, and Maxi's back and doing pretty.
Swear to God, if we see them again,
that team on Christmas Day, so they're better.
See them again. You ain't making.
I don't think they get back to second. I don't think we're saving this one. That prediction will not get saved. And then to end off the Eastern Conference, of course, we had the Boston Celtics at 1, like everyone did. No one is getting that right thanks to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't even think Cavs fans expected them to be 5 games out of Boston.
Yeah,
I still think Boston can make a run and come back and get that 1 seed. It's gonna take a lot.
The Mickey Mouse.
Okay, guys, this is gonna be a blast from the past. When we did PSF, do you remember that guy that was a huge Cavs fan that hopped on the show once in a while? In PSF. It was a white kid with longer hair. He was a huge Cavs fan. He was saying that Donovan Mitchell will never leave. And he was right for his. I don't know if y'all remember him.
I don't remember the name. I'm sure you're right. I just don't remember.
Shout out to him. I'm sure I'll find his name soon, but shout out to him. He was right. He's happy as hell right now. Let's just say that he's happy right now.
I think that does it for the East.
Yeah,
a couple hits in there. We have 3 or 4 that were bang on, 3 or 4 that were totally off. Let's see how.
Wait a second. The Sacramento Kings are. Oh my God!
We'll get to the Kings. Don't worry. We'll get to the Kings. We also have 2-minute drill about those guys.
I guess I didn't see him, but they're really that low.
Yes. It's not sweet over here in the West, Omar.
They're 4.5 games. They're 5 games out of the playoffs. There are as many games behind.
And they're never getting that back, bro.
The Celtics are from the Cavs.
Same thing can be said about.
They're never getting that back, though.
Same thing can be said about Phoenix,
which I said too.
All right, let's get into the.
Hey, I'm ready for the West because I was cooking, but nobody believed me. But let's go.
15 in the West is the Portland Trailblazers. Currently, they're 11. They're not 11. They're 13 with 11 wins.
Okay.
11 and 21. Yeah. Not too far off. They're playing a little bit better than expected.
You're right there. Yeah.
We're right there. They're not going to be a playoff team. They're going to be a bottom feeder. Just not as much of a bottom feeder as we thought. Kind of similar-ish to the Nets. Getting some wins where we didn't think they would, but not crazy over exceeding expectations.
You know what's funny? Who's the real 15, Max?
The Utah. Oh, actually, no. Well, we're not there yet. The Utah Jazz are actually
New Orleans,
which is where we put them. So we got one right, guys. We had Utah 14. They're currently 14. We hit the nail on the head with Utah so far.
Easy.
They're probably going to end last or next to last. So our Utah prediction was on the money. Good job. Nothing to say about Utah. I'm sorry.
No.
Our next one, the Houston. Oh gosh, we put the Rockets at 13.
Oh man, who said that?
I think we all said that. That had to be.
That's a 10-spot difference.
Yo,
we are casuals. We had the Rockets at 13. They said, "Hold that 13. We'll take the 1 off. Hold that 3."
Oh man.
That's a bar.
Shout out to them though. They've been playing really good basketball. The West really does seem like it can go anywhere at this point. Oklahoma City, Memphis, and Houston are just fucking shit up. Like it's crazy.
I forgot we put the Rockets that low. Shout out.
Okay,
shout out the Rockets. We have
the Rockets are there.
The
Rockets are there. Then who's next?
On our list or the real list?
Our list.
At our list, next we have the Warriors at 12, which is not terrible.
That's 10. Not terrible, yeah.
We're right there.
At the start of the year.
Earl, didn't you say that Steph Curry would be the best point guard this year?
No, I say he's going to hit the best year of his career, which I was wrong about. And I'll own that.
Fair enough.
Certainly not the best month of December.
Certainly not the best anything.
Yeah, wow. Warriors at 12. I feel like I had them higher, and y'all told me to put them lower, but maybe I'm wrong.
Wasn't this like the first time in a couple of years he hasn't
probably hit reverse?
I don't know.
Oh, no,
well, we did get pretty well. I guess not terrible. We had the Spurs at 11. They're 9th right now. They could easily.
Okay. I definitely said the Spurs are going to be higher than that. I have so much faith in the Spurs. I mean, I think they can top Minnesota very soon.
The fact that they're 2 games above 11, so it's right there.
We're right there.
Well, actually, to be fair, everything's right there. So good prediction.
Look, if they make the play-in this year, it's a dub.
The Rockets and the Sixers aren't.
Well, I take that back. Everything, my fault. Everything 4th through, I'll say 10, 11 is right there, kind of.
Even the Kings, the Kings are still there. They're not with those other 3 teams. They're not Portland. They're not Utah, and they're not that other team that we'll talk about in a minute. 10th on our list is the Clippers. That's one team that has definitely positively overexceeded expectations, and I forget if we made
especially without Kawhi
before the Kawhi injury news or not. I don't know if we had them. If we knew that Kawhi was going to miss this much time when we made them. We had them at 10. I was willing to put them lower. Shout out the Clippers. They are 6th. Harden is still playing.
I mean, first of all, shout out Norman Powell.
Shout out
Norman Powell. This man
Powell having
is
a better season than Paul George.
He is the sole reason why they're in this spot right now. If it was just James Harden, maybe. But Norman has been balling, and Norman has been a great supply cast for.
Speaking of James Harden,
Omar
told me he was going to score 10 points a game. Do y'all remember that? Omar, he's going to score 10. Nah, he's going to score 10 points a game. Like
I'll just arrest myself, okay? Here, officer.
But I told you guys, fear the beard. He would have one of his better.
Take my basketball knowledge.
Everything away. What happens when you make James Harden the guy? He turns Norman Powell into Paul George. He turned Zubac at one point was the best center in the league for the first month and a half of the NBA.
The first 2 weeks.
First 2-3 weeks. Zubac, I was like, that's gotta be Shaq. And the way Zubac was putting up 30 points, I was like, bro, this can't be real. Yeah. But shout out to Harden, bro.
Not one of your better takes, Omar. We'll leave it at that.
No.
But I had a bad one too.
We've had some stinkers. The Clippers at 10 looks like it'll be a stinker because you figure when Kawhi comes back, they're only gonna hold the ground if not go up.
In the standings, it's actually really funny. And don't get me wrong, Earl, you guys can really flip flop spots here, but it's just really funny how it's like Los Angeles and Los Angeles right next to each other.
You know how it is. Like even if you have a sibling, sometimes you guys argue.
What's weird to me is that
but you're right next to each other always.
Right now, and they have the Clippers listed as LA Lakers, like abbreviation, but then the Lakers are Los Angeles spelled out. So that's
we're always Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's really weird.
LA.
I'm on basketball. I'm on basketball reference.
It's like a branding thing.
And they just say both Los Angeles, so I can't relate right now.
Like ours,
I don't know why ESPN has a weird, but
it does like that on NBA.com too.
Oh no! I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
Number 9 on our list, the Sacramento Kings. Again, the Kings are currently 12th. We posted a 2-minute drill about those guys a couple days ago. So if you want to hear kind of a little bit more of our in-depth thoughts about the Kings and what's going right, mostly what's going wrong for them,
and more stuff about Mike Brown than ever.
I wanted them to be lower.
Yeah, we have them at 9. They're at 12. They've definitely been one of the more disappointing teams this year.
I know that Earl doesn't like
9, but
Sacramento Kings.
I had them at like 11, bro.
I still think
I gotta ask you, Earl. I've been meaning to ask you for the past couple of days. Why do you not like Sacramento this much? Like I can. There's a certain hatred for certain teams. I get it.
It's not even hatred. It's just the delusion. Like the Kings have been this version. The Kings have not really moved at all in this De'Aaron Fox era. Like they made the playoffs, boom, and then everyone's like, "Oh, the Kings, they're here." They start making the beam, all this extra stuff, and it's like, bro. Y'all still haven't really proven yourself to be a competitive team when it comes down to winning. They lost. Warriors. No offense to the Warriors. Like, they're obviously, I mean, it's Curry in them. But still, like, they were the younger team. I felt like they had the better roster, and they lost. That's all I had to say. When they had the chance.
I don't know. Mike Brown did a lot with that roster.
But I'm saying, I get that, man. So I'm saying, like, performing. Like, when it counts, bro. Performing, I felt like that roster had a chance to go deep. That Kings team.
Yeah.
Did it really?
And they had a good, bro.
They really did.
Barnes, Monk.
First of all, De'Aaron Fox is in his prime. So I don't see why not. And second of all, DeMontis is in his prime.
Oh, God.
Why not?
Sabonis got stomped on and all this crazy stuff.
It takes a team. I think if you look at, they had the better top end talent than Golden State that year. But if you look at like a 1 through 10 roster, I don't think they were better than Golden State.
Well,
that's why Golden State won.
Then what's their excuse right now? Then
less is more.
What's their excuse right now? Then
you know me. I think they're a decent team. They just don't have the record to show for it. But yeah, again, go listen to that other video. We talked about it.
Yeah, we talked. Yeah, you're right.
Our number 8.
We talk about it more in depth.
Los Angeles Lakers, and currently the Lakers are 7th. So good job, us. Basically, where we thought the Lakers would be, mid, maybe on their way up with the Dorian Finney-Smith trade.
Hey yo,
we want to touch on the Dorian Finney-Smith trade now while we're here on the Lakers.
Honestly,
get our resident Lakers fans' opinion on that, how the team's been doing lately.
First of all, Dorian Finney-Smith is a great pickup. I know we lost last night, but I mean, it's the Cavs. I mean, only four people I beat them. So I'll say this about the game. Dorian Finney-Smith, great defender. My one thing about JJ Redick, which I think he'll learn quickly, is sometimes you have to know when to make coaching decisions. Like he did a good job with D'Lo. He did a good job with when to start Christie. Last night, I wanted him to be aggressive and bench Rui because Rui wasn't having a great night. We all know Rui is not a good defender. He's a great offensive scorer for this team, but when he's not playing defense and he's not scoring, gotta sub him out. And I feel like Dorian Finney-Smith, that he started last game, it definitely would have helped contain Cleveland a little bit more. Not saying a lot, but we had a lot of good runs and stretches, and that was when Finley was on the floor. Like we went on a 12-0 run. That was when Finley and AD were playing together. We had another 9-0 run. That was when Finley, AD, and Bron in the game. And then we made substitutions. He's not playing. Boom, defense looks bad. So I think it's going to be good. Shots weren't really falling 100% first game, which is okay. It's a learning curve. But shout out to Shake Milton. He came in the game and hit his first 2 threes. That was kind of random, but his shot is very ugly, but we will take the free production.
It's almost like how I feel about Campaign.
Yeah.
That shot is so ugly.
No, you know what? Yeah, it's like on that type of time. I ain't gonna lie.
It's like
nothing.
It's so crazy.
In front of his face.
You're right. You're right.
I don't know how he sees. He sees from here.
Yeah,
and then I don't know what Campaign does, but he'll like.
No, I've seen it live.
He doesn't. He doesn't bring it up like this. He keeps the ball like kind of stationary right by his chest, and then he'll spread his legs and then shoot. You gotta look at it.
It's in front of his face. I don't know how he does it.
Not Campaign. Shake Milton does that. Campaign.
Oh, this ain't Shake Milton. Yeah.
Campaign is right here.
Cam. Cam shot that's something. But
ugly.
Yeah, I know Austin Reeves has been playing well lately.
Yeah,
that's the reason why they are as high as they are. He's been having a good stretch here.
Let me tell you about the fable of Austin Reeves.
Here we go.
Wait. I'm sorry. Score. Before you go into the Austin Reeves rant, something about DFS, Earl. I know we had a trade on the table that I eventually ended up taking, by the way, because it was something I couldn't refuse for fantasy for Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. I had a deal with Max. Max was going to take Dorian Finney-Smith off of me, and the only contingency is that he couldn't trade him to you.
Wow.
For below 2 first-round picks.
So you guys he was originally going to be in that Lowry marketing trade, but we subbed Patrick Williams in instead.
I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm getting to know this side of Omar. Okay.
Continue. Listen, sorry, I just had to throw it in before we started.
Crazy.
Austin Reeves.
Anyways, but shout out to Austin Reeves last night versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. He had 35 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. The game before that, he actually had 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 16 assists. And then on Christmas Day, triple-double on Christmas, he had 26, 10, and 10. And the thing is, I tried to tell people this a long time ago, but people call me delusional. Austin Reeves, to me, on this Lakers team has always been better than D'Angelo Russell. I think the Russell lovers were just too stuck in the place to understand that.
The last year, has anyone been questioning?
Yes, there's literally been people questioning it. We should trade Reeves. We should have traded Reeves for this and that. I'm like, bro, you don't trade someone who's comfortable with playing with Anthony Davis and LeBron. Like, there's not a lot of people like LeBron and AD can defer to. But if you watch that game, like, I know a lot of people won't go back and watch it, but if you literally go back and watch that Cleveland game last night, even the highlights, there's stretches on the floor where Austin Reeves is out there and he just makes things happen. He could have easily had 15 plus assists last night. We just weren't hitting shots. So Austin Reeves, I don't know what he woke up with. Maybe it was the headband. But he's been playing good basketball. And he's figured himself out like Max is trying to right now. But
we're good. What do you mean? We're good.
That's just my Reeves rant. He is definitely a dog. And that's why he's on my untouchables list.
Yeah. Good for the dog.
But no, Austin Reeves have been playing amazing. He had a really good game against Cleveland last night, even though that didn't really turn into much. But I believe that Cleveland, he could be a really good bright spot for y'all. And I agree. I think Dorian Finney-Smith should start. You guys had really good stretches down the line with them at kind of just being on the defensive end. Don't look at the box score for Dorian Smith Jr., everyone. Just look at the way he plays defense.
Why are you calling him junior? He's not a junior.
Dorian Finney-Smith. Did I say junior?
You did.
You call him Dorian Finney-Smith Jr.
My fault. It is Dorian Finney-Smith.
Maybe he has a kid on the way.
It might have just slipped out, but I didn't mean.
Breaking news: Dorian Finney-Smith is now having a son.
Hey,
Dorian Finney-Smith Jr. Oh, you're right. If he's calling it, no, maybe Omar was just mistaking him for his kid. That's what I was saying.
Deuce Tatum confused.
But no, I think
you know
playing real well. I think Dorian is going to be a great pickup for y'all, and I think it's going to just turn out really, really good for you guys in the long run.
Is it not Deuce?
It's Jason Tatum.
Is it really? Is it Jason Tatum
Jr.?
Really?
Deuce.
Then why does Tatum not wear a senior on his jersey?
Because they don't refer to him as Jason Tatum Jr. They refer to him as Deuce.
As Deuce, just like. Never mind. Continue on. But that's
just like Bronny. Just like Bronny.
Yeah, just like Bronny.
At this point, LeBron should just put senior on his jersey.
I mean, no, because you know why he Bronny legally changed his name to Bronny. Actually.
Oh, he did. Okay, then that's different.
He legally changed his name to Bronny.
Bron Senior. I mean, Bronson,
his name is not legally
citizen
Bronny
anyway, so I feel like he should have that senior on his jersey anyways.
You guys know his legal name is not actually Bronny.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that somewhere. I gotta look that up.
All right,
I saw that somewhere.
Well, while he checks that, what's next on the tier?
On our list, we have the Phoenix Suns at number 7. They're currently 11.
I knew that was a fluke. I knew it. I tried to argue it. I tried to argue it. I already told you guys what happens with the Suns. I thought everything I said came to true about the Suns. They're gonna play good. The big three is gonna be injured. They're not gonna play games, and they're gonna come back. Who's out right now? Oh, is it Devin Booker? Yep. Oh, Devin Booker's back. Who's out right now? Bradley Beal. Man, that's just what.
When Durant plays, they win.
Okay, so that's my fault. He
doesn't always play.
Okay, that's my fault. I gotta correct myself here. Bronny James is not his legal name. I apologize. Mm-hmm. He did say that I'm a genuine person. He said he asked about what he wants the NBA executives to know about him. I've got a lot of lessons from my mom and dad, but also putting that Bronny James narrative out there instead of LeBron James's son. I feel like it's really important to me. So my fault.
Fair enough.
I am, bro. I'm LeBron lore guy. Like I got you. Trust me.
LeBron lore.
Do we have anything else to say about the Suns? They've been a little disappointing.
No.
I think they could crawl back up to 7th. I don't think they'll miss the play-in. 11th.
That's what happens when you try to play 2K in real life.
Yeah, I think even with the 2K team, they'll make it in. They'll make at least a play-in. I have to think. We have Memphis at 6, and I will hold my fat L here because if not for me, y'all would have put them higher.
We argued on this. Air high five,
y'all two.
It's a party in my city.
I'll give you that one. I had Memphis as like a fringe play-in team.
Other side, bring it up. Yeah.
This looks weird on my screen, but I'm sure it looked good on Omar's end.
No, it never looked good.
I didn't think that Jake Arabia and Scottie Pippen Jr. and Jay Huff would be hoopers, but they are clearly hoopers. And Taylor Jenkins is a ball-knowing head coach. So shout out.
And it's gonna get scary, bro.
An all-star, potentially even an all-star starter, which is crazy to say in the year 2025. But he could genuinely start in the West front court with like Anthony Davis.
The crazy thing is too, well, G.G. Jackson hasn't been played this year, and he had a really good year last year. Like, they're getting a wing. They're getting an elite wing who's like, what, 19, 20 years old back?
Oh, yeah.
Younger than all of us.
Grizzlies.
It's going to be crazy.
Grizzlies are a cheat code, bro. I have nothing bad to say about the Grizzlies. That's all.
I don't have anything bad to say about them other than I underestimated them.
All I'm gonna say is I'm the only one that had faith in this team. When I said my prediction, I gave it kind of like a rationale answer.
Earl had a prediction too.
I kind of gave it like a rationale.
See how he put me under the bus?
I didn't put you under the bus at all. But
just like he
all I'm saying is I agreed just so we can be a little rational about it. But I did think they were going to be a top 30 team.
Yeah.
I think they're playing better than even you guys expected. But
nope.
You two
don't include me in that.
I didn't think they'd be good. They are good.
I knew they were going to be good.
Nope.
I knew it from the start. I knew everybody forgot about Ja Morant for some freaking reason. Like he isn't the man when it comes to hops and being able to serve the ball up to his teammates and being able to just play at a high level. I knew everybody forgot about that. So good shit, Grizzlies. Continue to continue to win.
Our Pelicans prediction.
Oh yeah, we did think they were higher, huh?
We had them at number 5 in the West. They have 5 wins right now. They have 5 whole wins.
Yeah, you got to chalk up the team, trade everybody. We're out of here. And they gave away the worst trade because Dyson Daniels is the best friend in the NBA. Anyways,
that Dyson Daniels trade looks really
all I'll
bad
say is I don't think Zion's going to be traded just because of that contract. Nobody's trading for that contract.
I don't believe nobody. Yeah,
that's the thing with the Pelicans.
Especially in this environment of I want to play for one team and I'm only going to play for one team, and if I'm not going to play for that one team, I'm not going to try. There's believe it or not, there are environments like that.
That's the thing with the Pelicans. Who's going to take those contracts? Who wants Brandon Ingram and is going to pay that much?
They're waiting for
Brandon Ingram that much. Who is going to pay CJ McCollum?
And the problem is, if they wait on Ingram, they get nothing. Though that's the problem. So it's just they have a lot.
And they might just get nothing. I mean, who in the NBA needs Ingram? Where does he fall in the NBA landscape?
I've never looked at a team and said, yeah, that team needs Brandon Ingram right now.
That's what I'm saying. Not on that deal. Maybe at 20. If you told me Brandon Ingram at $20 million, I'd say, okay, sign me up. But Brandon Ingram at his current deal and what you will probably demand in the offseason?
You know what's funny, though? Brandon Ingram, it'll get so tight. People would hate that team so much more.
What?
If Brandon Ingram went there, OKC. Put it in Brandon Ingram at the wing. You'll have 2 of the better elite mid-range shooters, and then you surround them by all defenders.
So what would that lineup be?
B.I. Chet. You can run Jalen Williams and then 5. Shea. Yeah. Boom.
So Shea, Ingram, Chet, and then Hartenstein. Or do you want Chet at the 5 and you put Lou Dort in there?
I'll go
Hartenstein
at the
there.
4 and go Hartenstein at the 5. Yeah.
Oh my God, that team will be toxic, bro.
I mean, that team is already toxic. We already saw that was the thing, and I think that the Oklahoma City Thunder did a really.
They will have to give up something,
addressing their weaknesses very early. Everybody knew that they were going after Isaiah Hartenstein because of the way that he's able to rebound the ball. Shout out to the Knicks, by the way, Tom Thibodeau, who taught him to be that aggressive. But I mean, first of all, he unlocked him, but. I mean, dude, Isaiah Hartenstein has turned into this all-world rebounder in the sense of just over 2 or 3 years, and I feel like that's exactly what Oklahoma City needed in the times that they needed it. I feel like they went after their weakness immediately, and they solved it immediately because some teams, for some reason, they take 2 years to address their weaknesses. I don't get it, but. I'm glad that Oklahoma City was able to.
I'd say the Chicago Bulls as an example, but they just haven't addressed their weaknesses.
They're what they need is to trade their players. That's what they need.
And it's the Thunder were in such a great spot because this is what you see as a successful rebuild. They traded for Shea.
This is the successful.
You draft, and it's like a stash. You draft Chet. All right, he couldn't play his first year because he got hurt. Comes back, you got an all NBA defender. One of the top defenders plus scorers in the league up there. Oh, Wemby versus Chet. Then you go get Hartenstein, make that move. You have Lou Dort, who's been on the team. You go get Alex Caruso. They just made so many good moves. And they still have assets. I think people forget they still have assets. It's crazy.
They're gonna trade those assets. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna have to.
They can't.
I mean,
they won't be able to do anything with them. Like, there's only so many people they can keep bringing in.
Here's what they're gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I
look at Trey Mann.
If I was Oklahoma
he hasn't
City,
been having Trey Mann's been playing good. They couldn't keep all the talent they have. Like, they draft great.
Yeah, Trey Mann's having.
What I do think is gonna happen is that they're going to be like a kind of like consistent trade partner to trade picks within the draft with, because like while they can't really retain anybody else, they do need to. Frankly, they do need to build their bench a little. Like, I do think their bench is nice. I think it could be nicer, but away from that, they're going to be a team that teams look at and be like, hey, look, we just need a little help getting this trade done. We just need some picks, and you're going to get this person or that person, somebody to really round out your bench. And I think Oklahoma City is going to be more than happy to listen to those offers, even if it's just like pick swaps for years and years to come. They're going to find a way to
they can just stash those picks for the next rebuild.
That's what I'm saying.
What people don't realize
farther back every year.
I don't think
realize they got Topic too, right? Like,
yeah, and Topic
is not gonna play. He's not gonna play this season.
Gosh.
But oh my god,
he's gonna ball.
Topic is like ball. He's like.
Do y'all have anything else to say about the Pelicans? I know
Let's move on.
But we predicted the Pelicans at number 5 in the West. We thought they would be a top 5 team in the West, and they could finish last. This team could finish last. We put them 5th.
Oh, we also have to talk about their winning streak. Aren't they on a winning streak as well?
Well, we haven't got to them. We kind of just
the Thunder.
Yeah, no, I'm saying we haven't got to the Thunder.
We'll get to the Thunder in a minute. Our number 4 was
talking
Denver
about
Nuggets on the list, and which is not actually that far off. I think we all knew that Denver would be not the top tippity top tier Western contender, but they are still a contender. I'd say they're currently sitting at 5th, 1 game behind the 4th place Dallas Mavericks. So not spot on, but about as spot on as we could feasibly be. I think Nuggets are playing about to our expectations so far.
And it's so hard with the West because
they're playing well, just not.
Jokic just carries that team up. That team would not be a playoff team without Jokic. Not even close.
And also, I don't think they got worse because of like Russell Westbrook or something, because that seems to be a narrative that goes around all the time. I think
Westbrook's actually been decent. He's not. I mean, he's not been great, but like
I think Russell Westbrook has been more of a net positive than a net negative. You want to know my real hot take on who's been the net negative this time around?
For the Nuggets, Jamal Murray. It's been a bit of a yikes season. He's had a couple good games lately. He's been better lately.
He's not good unless he plays the Lakers, bro. This is a known fact. He's not good unless he plays. It's when he sees yellow and purple, he just turns into a dog. When he plays us,
top 2 player all the time. Had a rough time guarding him in the finals too.
True.
Yeah. Who's our next?
This was a pretty good prediction on our end. Number 3, we had the Minnesota Timberwolves. This is a little bit of a miss, especially right now considering they're 8th in the West. 5 positions lower than we predicted.
The thing about it is that's before Cat, though, right?
Yeah, that was before Cat.
Well, is it? I don't know.
Yes,
I think so.
Yes, 1,000% before Cat, because Cat was only traded like 2 or 3 days before the season officially started.
Last edit was on October 7th. That's like right at the Cat trade. I think it was like I'm checking when that happened. I think this was like 2 days.
Cat was traded right in the beginning of the season, maybe like 2 or 3 days prior. There's no way we knew about that Cat trade before.
The Cat trade happened. Oh no, it happened on October 3rd. This was 4 days after the Cat trade.
4 days after?
Yeah.
And we put him down. We put him up there. I suppose we thought Julius Randle would be a little bit better than Dante. I suppose we thought Dante would have been better than.
Yeah. I mean,
I would say so.
The Timberwolves as a whole, the Randall experiment has not worked. DiVincenzo, he's had 2 good games. I know he had back-to-back 20-piece games, but again, if you're looking at the season as a whole, both those guys have been disappointing. And I think you can definitely tell that they miss Karl-Anthony Towns more than people thought they would, more than we thought they would. Again, they're not terrible, but they're not a top 3 team in the West right now. I don't think there's any debating that. I don't think they will end as a top 3 team in the West. I don't think there's any debating that either. Not with how many other good teams are in that area right now.
Yeah.
Very true.
So, Wolves at 3, that's a bit of a miss. We have the Thunder at 2. I don't just for the record, I had the Thunder at 1. They're currently first in the West, and
by a
decent margin, they have 5 games over Memphis right now. I don't know why y'all thought they would not be number 1 in the West. They are. This is kind of y'all's L. I backed the Thunder. Y'all both told me that they were not the best team, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, I'll stand on that.
Perhaps.
I don't know. Stand on it. They're 5 games ahead. They're only going to get more ahead. This team doesn't lose except to the Bucks in the play-in.
We got nothing to say. We know. We know. And who was our number 1?
Our number 1 was the Memphis Grizzlies. The Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Mavericks, who are currently 4th, but they're 2.5 games behind second place Memphis.
But they're also preparing for Luka to be out for a little while, so expect them to fall.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they did win a lot without Luka earlier in the season. Question is, can they do it again? Can Kyrie carry them on another Luka-less run?
No.
I mean, if you want to hear my hot take about the Mavericks, they play a lot better defense when Luka's not out there, and I almost want to say, I can't say they're better without him, but like that defense looks kind of nice when you don't have Luka and Kyrie in the backcourt. But obviously, they're a better team when Luka's there. We can all agree on that. There's pros and cons, but more pros to having Luka. I think
they got a tough schedule though. They play the Rockets, Cleveland, Grizzlies, and then they play us.
Ooh.
So that's a gauntlet. They'll probably drop a few of those games. They could definitely fall. How far are they ahead of the Nuggets right now? They're a game ahead of the Nuggets and the Clippers and the Lakers. They could fall outside the top 6, honestly, by the time Luka comes back. They could fall off the top 6 in like the next week, if we're being honest. True. I don't know how y'all thought this would be.
When LeBron pulls up in his Hummer, beep, beep.
I don't get how y'all thought that this would be a 1 seed. I really don't.
Passing you in the 5th seat. No, I'm just fine. Let me chill.
All right. I think that kind of caps our.
Yeah.
It does. There were some stinkers in it. We have a few good ones. The Knicks at 3. True. We got right. The Jazz at 14. The Spurs were pretty close. We had a couple East teams. The Hornets we hit bang on. I think the Bucks we pretty much hit on. The Heat we pretty much hit on. There's some decent ones. And then there's the Hawks at then there's the Pelicans at 5 and the Cavs at 6. And you're like, okay, maybe we don't know ball as much as we thought we do.
Yeah.
That is going to do it for our postseason our preseason standing predictions. Again, we will check back in on this in a couple of months. Before we wrap this show up, do we want to just quickly touch on I know we already kind of talked about the Dorian Finney-Smith trade to the Lakers. Just real quick, who do we think is going to be next to be traded? We didn't want to talk about this considering that the NBA trade rumors are heating up right now. Who's kind of next on the chopping block, do we think, in terms of being on the move?
I'll be quick here. I think the next person to be traded is going to be somebody from the... Actually, I don't know. Someone else go. I really don't know who's going to get traded.
I got 2 options. They're both Brooklyn Nets, and they're both in a prime position to be traded. Cam Johnson and Cam Thomas. I think they're either one of the 2 are the next to be traded.
I don't see the Nets trading Cam Thomas. I think they're going to want to hold on.
Believe it or not, they're shopping him. I feel like
they're definitely shopping him, but I don't think there's. I feel like it would take a really good trade for them to trade. Like they're definitely open to it. I feel like that's one of those. They would only trade him if they get an offer they can't refuse. Like if it's a sweet deal, like if you're getting a nice haul of picks for him, okay, maybe you can part ways. But I think that they see him as someone they can hold over and kind of build around. Maybe not like as a 1A, but like a third, maybe the second or third best player on their team in a couple of years could be Cam Thomas. So I would go Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson has no future with that team. There's a lot of NBA teams that need, he's like the prototypical, just perfect modern NBA wing. Long, plays good enough defense, shoots the 3 at a high enough clip, can create his own shot a little bit. We've had some big scoring games for Brooklyn this year where he is kind of having to do a little bit of that offensive shot creation, off dribble driving. He's put up big numbers. So I think he'd slot nicely in like a starting lineup or 6-man role for a lot of teams. So I have to imagine Cam Johnson will be on the move soon. Plus, he's winning them too many games. The Nets are trying to tank. I don't think they want him around for much longer than like 2 more weeks. I give him 2-3 weeks. That's it.
It's not bad.
Could definitely be him. Maybe Zach LaVine.
I also think Jimmy Butler.
Maybe Jimmy. You never know.
I think it's going to be Jimmy. I think that whole thing with Pat Riley was a smokescreen for what they're really planning, because I get it, not wanting to talk about like trades and not wanting to address anything, because it does mix up some like aspect of how the players feel. So when the players hear this and it's clearly affecting like their mental, I feel like it was Pat Riley's job to kind of shut the rumors down. I really feel like, because frankly, it was all kind of coming from him and how he was acting towards Jimmy Butler and how he felt towards Jimmy Butler. We all know how he feels towards Jimmy, because he wants him to play more. He wants him to win. So, and to Pat Riley's credit, he's not a stupid man. But
yeah,
I don't.
Very true.
I don't see them keeping Jimmy. I just don't. Especially in a situation where you literally do not have the ability to get anything for him after the fact. Like, I think the Spurs can offer something nice for him, and just have him for that 1 year, and to convince him that, hey, we are next up with you. If you are able to do these things, share the ball, and continue to be the star that you are, we can have a good thing here in San Antonio. I think that could work really well.
Well, on the Spurs, you said?
Yes.
How far do you think the Spurs get with Jimmy?
I think it's a good trade.
So who are they going to trade? Because remember, they got to have those
Chris
salaries.
Paul, I can't remember the trade that I had picked up before.
Because
first of all, Chris Paul's only on a 1 year deal. Don't forget that. True. Chris Paul's on a 1 year deal.
I don't know.
Chris Paul.
Listen.
I think Keldon Johnson is going to be involved in that, only because he's
Chris Paul. Oh yeah, actually, Chris Paul's on like 10 mil. You could maybe. I'll give you some credit. If the Spurs if they could convince Jimmy to re-sign in the offseason at a cheap to play with Wemby, get him to sign for like 20 or 25 mil, then it's not the worst. I could see it.
My thing is, if they do that,
if anybody can afford it, it's the Spurs. That's what I'm saying.
But they don't want to waste their budget on a 35-year-old bum.
But what I'm saying is, if
it's their last piece, wouldn't you do that too? If it's their last piece to have some type of glory before it, give Wemby some type of aggression. Maybe.
Are they really in a rush? Like, I don't think they're in a rush.
The thing is this, like,
they're not in a rush.
If you, bro, my thing is
Jimmy Butler seems like a rushed move to get a 35-year-old.
If you're trading Chris Paul, the real question is, does trading for Jimmy Butler right now win you a championship this year?
Probably not, no.
Well, I mean, listen, if you can convince him to re-sign in the offseason at like $20 million, okay, then maybe you're like, we're building something for the next year or two.
But then it's like, why not just wait for him to be a free agent then? If nobody's going to... It depends on what the market is.
Same reason any team trades for a guy on expired. You bank on, he plays a couple games with Wemby, maybe you make the play-in, and he's like, okay, I can get used to this. I kind of like it here in San Antonio, Texas team kind of vibes. But yeah, sure, I'll take a discount. I'll stay here.
My only thing with that is... No, I agree with you. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, like, if I'm talking about, like, in the fact, like, okay, if you're willing to give up, like, Keldon of the world and Chris Paul and those guys,
it's definitely a risk.
It's like, why not just maybe we wait, see what's available in free agency, and then you have those guys, and then you can sign.
And think about it this way: if let's say they do make that trade and they give up assets to Jimmy, Jimmy can basically hold them over a barrel and make them re-sign him for whatever he wants, because he can say, "Listen, you either re-sign me for $50 million for the next 3 years, or I'm going to walk, and then you look really stupid for trading for me. So give me my 50 M's, or I'm out the door."
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be
my logic behind him being traded to San Antonio is the fact that San Antonio has the space to give it to him.
True.
So if any team was willing to be like, hey, sure, I'll give you $50 million to play 2 seasons with us, so you can, I don't know. Maybe it's dumb. I know Earl is kind of looking at me like whatever, but
no, I'm not. I'm just processing what you're saying.
Okay, but who else is going to? I think about people
nobody.
Like Paul. I think about people like Jimmy Butler as people that could be kind of mentors to Wemby. I feel like if Jimmy Butler was able to just play with him for
that's an expensive mentor. I can go. Get Tim Duncan for free.
I agree with you.
I can go get Mono Ginobili to come give a inspirational speech rather than paying Jimmy Butler $50 million.
Imagine if they've tried that before, because they probably have. Tony Parker and Mono Ginobili not doing nothing.
They said they have a good relationship with Wemby. Like Wemby's talked about them being around and mentoring him. So it's like,
I agree. We're gonna say, also, why would they bring Chris Paul for only 1 year?
So I think if they could bring Jimmy Butler for 1 year, $10 million, they'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah,
they want to bring it for 3 years, $120 million.
You sign Chris Paul at 1 year because you don't know how long Chris Paul wants to play in general, and it's a cheap contract for what you get out of it. Like, look at how
you guys can say the same about Jimmy. He's 30.
I'm saying, but it's cheap, bro.
Not at $40 million.
I'm talking about look at it this way. Look at Castle. Look who's one of the leaders in Rookie of the Year.
That's also why I'm saying
point guard position.
Trade Chris Paul.
No, I'm just saying
Stephon Castle. But continue.
No, I get that.
I would say that Chris Paul has helped elevate Castle's game instead.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah.
Why Castle is Rookie of the Year favorite right now. Which we haven't talked about much about Stephon Castle on the show. I'm sure we will when we kind of get more.
They've updated the stats last night. I believe it's Zach Edey now with -110.
I mean, he's 1 and 2. I mean, it's right there.
I mean, he's balling, so I don't hate it. Having him on my fantasy team, I can see the stuff that he's doing. I've missed a couple of locks, but he's been playing really well.
Sorry. My bad.
No. Say it clearly without the cough.
Mid.
You can say that. That's fine. I know you don't.
Foul baiting. Foul.
You probably thought.
Wait till Jokic gets his hands on him. I'm telling you, if it's a playoff series, Denver versus Grizzlies, he will not last the quarter versus Jokic.
Oh yeah.
No, respectfully,
and
Jokic doesn't.
Plus him and Jaren, you want two.
Well, it depends.
Stop fouling.
It depends because Zach
Edey
is kind of like an aggressive center. So
if Jokic doesn't foul him out, Edey will have 20 points every game in that playoff series.
Yeah,
Jokic's gonna see someone taller than him and just say, "You got this. I'll go. Just give me the ball. Score. Give me the ball."
Unless you get ultra instinct.
And he's not skinny. He's not like Wemby that at first you could bully him in the post and then see what happens. He can actually hold himself there and still play pretty good defense. I mean, I don't think Memphis has a chance of winning. I think Zach Edey can play good defense against Jokic
in a playoff series. I'd take Memphis in that series. If they played right now, I would take Memphis.
Maybe.
No, it's not a maybe. I would. And it's not because of Edey. It's just because
there's no way you
maybe I'm the only maybe. And only that's probably because of their playoff experience. Because don't forget, playoff experience does matter in some situations.
They have playoff experience. Did they go to Western Conference Finals?
Not Zach Edey.
Well, not Zach Edey, but the rest of the team.
We did take some Mickey Mouse Grizzlies out to dinner. Sorry, my bad.
All right, I think that's
back when it was easy to play teams when the Grizzlies were competitive. Easy dubs in the playoffs.
I have a trick question for you guys right before we end. So, who's played for the Chicago Bulls and the Houston Rockets
in their whole career?
I don't have the answer. I'm looking. Yeah, and in all the years.
In any year, okay. Patrick Beverley.
Let's see if that's right. That is right. Okay.
I think he played for the Bulls. No. Oh, what's his face?
Yep. Okay. Cool. Wow. Okay.
Damn.
All right. Y'all know those immaculate.
We need to do more NBA trivia on this show. We need to do just more random trivia. Who was that one guy? There's another guy. I think. Maybe it is Pat Bev that I'm thinking of. Aaron something, short guy.
Aaron.
You all know what I'm talking about? Aaron Brooks. Did he play for both? Check Aaron Brooks. I know he played for Houston. Did he play for Chicago? Check Aaron Brooks. I think that might be another pull. I'm sure there's someone way more obvious I'm forgetting, but give me Pat Bev and Aaron Brooks.
Aaron Brooks. I gotta look this one up because I was just finishing up Immaculate Grid. If y'all have ever heard of those.
We should do one of these. We should do an Immaculate Grid.
He's played for the Bulls and the Rockets. Yeah. He played on the Rockets for 4 years. Then he left for the Suns, then the Kings, and then played on the Rockets for another 2 years. and then played for the Bulls for 1 year.
Bro, don't test my NBA knowledge. Don't test my hoops knowledge. My trivia knowledge goes crazy. If you guys want to see some trivia videos, let us know. But as always, again, let us know if you enjoyed this episode as well in the comments section. We appreciate all the support. Again, we want to wish everyone a happy New Year's. If y'all could do us the favor of subscribing, liking, commenting to celebrate 2025, we would greatly appreciate it. 2024 was a great year for this podcast. We uploaded, again, basically every week other than Christmas, which has become our tradition, our traditional week off. So we appreciate y'all letting us take the week off there. We hit 50 subscribers. The Memphis Grizzlies video we posted a couple weeks ago went crazy. That ended with like almost 1,000 views. So shout out you guys for getting that video boosted. And yeah, we appreciate y'all. We're going to have hopefully a good 2025. Hope you all do too. For me, this is Max. That's Omar.
The year of Beyond the Backboard has come.
I hope so. Have a wonderful rest of the day, y'all. Enjoy the new year. Adios.
Adios.
Peace out, fam.